Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the course on UGC NET Paper 1. Today, we'll be starting research aptitude topic with our resource person, Professor August Muni Mishra. He is a distinguished academic and passionate educator in the field of mass communication. He is currently a research scholar at Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya and is also serves as a visiting faculty at Parul University, Gujarat. A proud alumnus of Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya, he graduated with a degree in journalism and mass communication, securing the prestigious second rank. Furthering his academic journey, he completed his MA in journalism and mass comm from the Central University of Haryana as a gold medalist. He has successfully cracked UGC NET in mass comm and brings valuable teaching experience, having previously worked as assistant professor at Chandigarh University. With deep commitment to academic excellence and innovation, he continues to inspire students and professionals alike. Welcome, sir, to the session.
Thank you so much,
Please
ma'am.
begin.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am, for my introduction. And again, in today's session, we are going to talk about the research aptitude, because when we talk about the UGC paper NET 1, okay, that is a combination of different subjects. So one of them is research aptitude, and that is very important because many of us are they want to take admission in PhD courses. They want to clear NET for assistant professor post, or they want to clear GRF. For that purpose, research aptitude chapter is very important. And I'm going to share PPT with you all. And before starting our session, I have one request from you all, that during the session, if you have any doubt, while I will tell you about the different perspective, different topics of the research aptitude, you can just unmute yourself and you can ask. So we'll together even solve the queries, and we will understand the basic concept of research. So I'm going to share PPT. I think that is all previously shared by ma'am with you all. So you can just download it from the Google Drive, or you can just access from there. I think this slide is clearly visible to everyone. Wait for a second. I'm going to. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, in our today's session, because this is first day, so we are going to talk about the meaning, types, characteristics, what is positivism and post-positivism approach in the research aptitude. So I will just start with asking with you all that many of you are maybe knowing about the research aptitude, and many of you are just starting today with us. So please, if anyone who is having idea about the research or research aptitude, then they can just unmute yourself and they can just give a brief about it. Means I just want to know that how much we know about the basic concepts. Then I will start with the PDFs. If anyone want to share their views on this research aptitude, like what is research and all.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Is the process of investigate something on a particular topic?
okay, ma'am.
Systematic.
That's really good, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely, ma'am. When we are going to do anything systematically, okay, like research is all about the doing anything systematically. Like if you want to search about any particular thing, then you will go through a particular step. You will go to the particular process, and by process you are going to find the result of your research work. Anyone else want to share? Shwarupa, ma'am. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Now I will start. So there is one more thing I want to tell, that as a reference book of this research aptitude, we are going to use KVS Madan. So during the session also, I'm going to share some of the points of that particular book. Even I'm going to share that book also in the this particular Google Meet. Now, we will start with our first slide. Like, when we are talking about the meaning of research, like our one of the participants said, research is a systematic, logical, and objective process of investigation to discover or validate facts, principles, or theories. Like, if I will say that what is research, research is nothing about, like, that which is not already discussed previously. For example, if you are going to do research on a particular subject, definitely someone previously done the research on that, and you are just going to update that process. Okay, but by using some of these systematical methods, you are going to do that research. For example, if you are going to choose one subject, like if I'm teaching you, and if I feel that there is some problem in this, this Google Meet, so first I will discuss about my aim, that what is objective behind doing this research. So first I will find out that why this sound issue or this sound problem is getting created by this Google Meet. So that is my objective. Then we will go to the some particular literature review. Okay, for example, I will go to the the help section of Google. Then I'm going to learn about it, read about it. I'm going to search some of the tools related to this Google Meet. Okay, then what will be the next step? I'm going to decide some objectives. I'm going to decide some research questions on which I'm going to work on it. Then what will be the next step? Like, after doing all this thing, I will decide my methodology. I will decide the way I'm going to find out the things. That will be the primary data, secondary data. Okay, then what will be the conclusion? What will be the analysis? So these are all the systematics, systematic part of that particular process, where we are going to find the answer of our objective or aim. Okay, so research is a systematic. I already discussed about that. Why it is logical? Can anyone tell me about that thing? That why it is logical? Or if you are not able to understand some particular points, then also you can ask. Because if the session will be interactive, then it will really help me to understand that if you're not getting any particular thing which is told by me. Like, it is systematic. Why it is logical? Can anyone?
Sir, because it is based on certain evidence or true ideas or facts, because we cannot do any kind of research just by our emotions or illogically.
Thank you so much, and that's very correct. Because if you are going to prove something in a particular, like if you are saying that this is the particular thing which I am going to prove, but I don't have any evidence, no one is going to believe on your work. Okay, so for proving that particular things, you have to give logic on that. You have to give reason. That's why this research, why this objective, why this particular thing is like this or something. Okay, so logic is very important, and it is also objective process. When we talk about the objectivity in research, like there is a difference between the even our academics are also divided into two parts. Like, there is a particular science research and there is another social science research, where we just do our research by using two approaches. One of them is qualitative, another one is quantitative. Okay, so when we are talking about the objectivity, is all about the facts and data. You cannot give your opinion in that particular research. Okay, because that your things are only proved, your logic is only proved by the data and facts. That is objective. Okay, and when we used to say that it is a combination of objectivity and subjectivity, that comes under the qualitative, not quantitative, because quantitative is talking about the number, facts, figures. And qualitative is talking about the human behavior. Okay, that includes the subjectivity. So, sorry. So that's why research is objective process also of investigation to discover or validate facts, principles, or theories. Because whenever you are going to form any principle or any theories, definitely you have to prove. And without proving, without using the systematic process, without using the logical reasons, without using the objective things, you cannot prove anything. Okay, people will they will reject your research, because research cannot be based on only, like ma'am said, Chami ma'am said, that on emotions or your opinion. That is totally based on the data, facts, logical things. Okay, now here are the key characteristics, like which I have already discussed, but in brief I am going to just revise that. First one was the systematic, follows a defined process, which we have already discussed, that how you start your research with the particular aim or objective, then you will go to the review of literature, then you will find out your research question objectives, then you will go to the methodology, then you will go to the analysis of that your data. At the end you are going to give conclusion. So this is a systematic process of doing any research. Then what is logical thing? Based on the reasoning, you are giving the reason behind your research. Like if I was talking about the Google Meet issue, then I'm going to find out that yes, there was a network issue. Okay, for example, I'm giving you that there was a network issue, that's why there is a sound problem in this Google Meet. Okay, then there will be objective, free from the biasness, because whenever you're going to give your own opinion, biasness will come, and there will be a most of that chance that people are going to reject your research on the basis of only subjectivity. So objective or objectivity is very important in the research. There is a empirical thing also, like based on the observable and evidence, like the previous participant they discussed in the starting, that yes, it is based on the evidence. Okay, what you observe, what you use the things as evidence. For example, if I'm doing the focus group discussion in the particular group of people, and I'm observing the things, I am noting out the things for the my future reference. So that time I also have to take a evidence of that particular things. Like whenever we are going to do a focus group discussion, we just take a video of that particular talk and discussion and all. That is evidence. Okay, maybe observation is good, but yes, you have to use the evidence also. You have to take the evidence also. Now, I will just share the KVS Madan for the some few most like definitions by the different scholar of the research, because this book really helped me a lot during my UGC NET examination. So for your reference also, I am sharing it. Then we'll move to the another slide. I think this book is clearly visible to everyone. This particular page of this book is clearly visible to everyone. So, like here are the some of the definitions given by the some of the prominent scholars. Now, why I'm telling you about this, particular definitions? Because in UGC NET, they used to ask, or they used to just give that particular definition by the particular scholar, and they will ask that yes, this definition is given by whom? Okay, by whom this definition is given by. So that can be a kind of questions. In the end of session also, during the session also, we are going to discuss some of the question also, but we'll start with this. Like according to the famous Hudson maxim that all progress is born out of inquiry. Doubts lead to inquiries, and inquiry leads to an invention. So, every scholar is having their own kind of definition, because whatever they are observing from their surrounding, they just used to give that kind of definition according to their observation. Okay, so he's saying that like all progress is born out of inquiry. Okay, means if you have any kind of inquiry, that process will take birth there only. Okay, like if I want to know about the, like for example, people want to see particular visuals in the particular like in the film, TVs and particular thing. But previously, when it was not invented, there was a there was a thinking in people's mind that how it can look like when we used to run any visual in the any machine or something. Okay, so when they started thinking about, then that particular inquiry gave birth to a particular invention. Okay, for example, if people feel that they they are feeling hot during the summer, there is a need of fan came in the invention. Okay, so like this definition just want to clear that if you have any need, then definitely there will be an invention. Okay, so research is not synonymous with a common sense. The difference between the research and common sense lies in a procedure and method. Okay, so like I will not just read whole things, but I will just I will clear this intuitions, authority, rationalism, and all these points. Okay, like the process of acquiring knowledge has become very fast now. There are basically 5 basic methods to acquire the knowledge. First one is intuition. The first method to know that what we are when we use our intuitions, we rely on our guts, our emotions, and or our instinct to guide us. So like, which we have already discussed, that that whenever there is a behind any invention, first there is any kind of intuition take place. Okay, like what we feel about particular thing, what we what we know about any particular thing, what we understand about particular thing. On the basis of that only, we are going to choose our first aim. Okay, then there is another thing, which is authority. It means accepting new ideas because some authority figure states that they are true. Okay, that is another part. Okay, like once you get your aim or objective, then you are going to use that particular ideas. You're going to accept that particular ideas. Then there will be a rationalism. It involves using logic and reasoning. See, we have already discussed about all these things in our slide. Okay, systematic things, logical things, and all. Empiricism, like it involves acquiring knowledge through observation and experience. This also we have discussed. And at the end, what you are going to do, you are going to use the scientific method. Okay. Now, what kind of questions can UGC NET ask from this, NTA ask from this? They will give you this all 4 points, because there are 4 options. And in that, they will ask you to, manage this particular in a particular ascending or descending order. Okay, so that kind of question can be asked by UGC NET. Okay, or chronological order they can ask, like what you will do first: intuition, authority, rationalism, empiricism, or scientific method. Okay, so for that purpose, we have to understand these all points. We have to remember all these points. Okay, that what can be the process. Okay, now I will move to the another slide, then we'll move back to the particular page. Okay, here are the some of the things left. I will discuss that also. Like the term research comprise 2 words, re and search. Generally, re means again and search means to find out. In the starting of our session only, I have discussed that the thing which is already searched, we are doing research on that. Okay, means once a people found out that yes, like by eating particular fruit we are getting the particular vitamin, but some of the another scientists, they are going to find out that yes, with this particular vitamin we are getting this particular more minerals with that fruit. Okay, so if you are doing any if you have any search on the particular subject previously, and if you are doing again researching on that to find out some particular new things, okay, you can say that like the knowledge which is previously given by particular scholars, you are just updating that knowledge by using the scientific methods, by using the systematical process, by using this logical reasoning and all. Okay, so this is the thing which we have to understand about the research. According to the Creswell, like research is a process of step used to collect and analyze the information. Yes, which like in the starting of session, I told you about the different process. One of them are like you are collecting the data, then you are analyzing that. And after analyzing that data, you are going to find out the particular answer of your objective. Okay, because any research which is done by the people, it is not possible that it is not having a research gap, because no one can completely research on a topic. Okay, every time there is a research gap in that particular topic, so you can go through that research gap and you can just find out the answer of research gap also. Okay, because during the collection, during the analyzing information, getting by the primary sources, secondary sources, if you find out that there is still research gap left, then you can go through that all research gap and you can understand the reason behind that particular gaps in that particular research projects. Okay, so thus we can say that research is a process of inquiry and investigation. Yes, definitely, because whenever you are starting your research, you just do the inquiry that what is the reason behind a particular objective, what is the reason behind a particular aim. Then you are going to investigate on it, like the police investigate for a crime. What they used to do, they start with the inquiry, then they used to investigate on that particular thing. Even they also use these systematic methods, with the help of like forensic science and all. Similarly, like that in research also, we have a different methodologies. Like we used to have a quantitative approach, qualitative approach. Under that, we are using the survey, in-depth interview, or we are doing the content analysis, or anything which you want to do. Okay, and at the end, what is a thing we get from the research? It increase our knowledge. Okay, see here you are, see this is also very important, because I think in some of the paper, I do not remember about the year, a kind of this kind of thing asked in that. Okay, so R can remain for the rational way of thinking, E can extend for the experts and exhaustive treatment, S for the search and solution, E for the exactness, A for the analysis, R for the relationship of facts, and C stands for the critical observation, careful planning, constructive attitude, and condensed generalization. Okay, and H for the honesty and hard work, because like whenever we are doing research on a particular topic, sometimes we used to copy and paste data from the previous research. So in that case, there is a need of honesty, because if you are doing the plagiarism in that, definitely that is not a new research. That is a just copying and pasting of that particular thing in the another research. So now I will move to the another slide. If you have any question, then you can ask, please. Whatever we have discussed till yet, please you can ask, then we'll move to the another slide. Because maybe sometimes whatever I am saying, that can be the thing, like, you're not able to understand, or if I'm speaking, fastly, and if you're missing any points, then also you can just ask. Okay, I'm sharing that slide. Okay. Now, what are the types of research we are going to discuss in detail? In tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss about the research type. But just I'm giving you the brief about that all. Okay. So, when we used to talk about the types of research, first research type is basic research. Focus on the fundamental principle and theories. Okay. Like, for example, if you are knowing about the fundamental rights of the Indian citizens, I think everyone is knowing about it. Okay. Like, if you want to focus on researching that fundamental rights, that from where it came, from where it was took by the Indian government and all. Okay. So for that basic research, what you are going to do, you're just going to go through the fundamental rights, all the topics of that fundamental rights. Okay. Like, I think that the fundamental rights is took from the USA. And when you will go to the, the reason behind that, there was some incident took place in the USA. I am not remembering that, but due to that, that particular fundamental right. Okay, yes, there was a issue of white and black in the USA. So due to that, there was a, there is a that government prepared that fundamental rights for the people of that particular USA. Okay. From there, India adopted it. Okay. So now if you are going to research on it, then what you will do, first you will go through the review of literature. You will find out the reason behind that formation of fundamental right. Then what you will do, then you are going to analyze the things. Then you are going to collect the data also. On the basis of that, you are going to find out the result. So this is a very basic process. Okay. You're not going to do any new thing in that. Okay. Like, you are just reviewing the secondary data, which is already available in the Internet archives or in the USA government websites or in the USA libraries and all. Okay. Even in Indian libraries also, you can get the data, books and all. And you are just doing the review of literature of that. And you are just collecting the data, you are analyzing the data, and you are giving the result. That is the basic research. On the basis of theories and principle, you are giving your conclusion. Okay. Is that clear to everyone? Or I should give any another example? Please, you can just tell me.
It's clear, sir.
Because it will help you. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. So whenever you are doing things by using, by only just using the secondary data, by just using doing the content analysis, case studies, that is the basic research. Now, what is another type? That is applied research. It seeks to solve practical problems. For example, if there is any kind of, like, in the particular, like, yesterday only I heard that in media that COVID-19 is again, the cases of COVID-19 increasing in India. Okay. Now, what we have to do there, like previously we invented the medicine, okay, the injection and the and after that, we just used to do practical on that particular issue. Like, we have a vaccination, and then, most of the people, they are not getting affected by the COVID-19 in India right now. But in the another part of world, still that all things are exact. Okay. Someone wants to say anything? Aditi, ma'am, would you like to say anything? Okay.
I think it was
So-
by miss, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. So now, what things now scientists are going to do, like whatever will be the new type of COVID-19 this time came in India, they are just going to do research on it. Okay, what they will do, they will just collect the sample of that data from the patients. Then they are going to do the practicals on it, that what kind of medicines can kill that particular COVID-19 bacteria virus. Okay, and on the basis of that, they're going to solve the problems. Now in that case, they are not just doing the qualitative research. Okay, like they are not just using the secondary data, they are not just using the case studies and all. They are doing the practical, and they are noting down the everything. Okay, that can be in a quantitative way, like in the form of numbers. They are noting down the results. Okay, so that comes under the applied research, and it is a part of quantitative research. Okay, so in basic research, you are not giving more effort on doing research, but in the case of applied research, you are just observing each and everything, whatever you are doing on practical. Okay, most of the science student, those who are doing practical on the different viruses, or different, like if a particular person, those who are a student of physics, chemistry, okay, they are noting down the each and every data came from their practical result, and on the basis of that only they used to resolve their problem. So this comes under the applied research, where you are solving the practical problems, and on the basis of that you are going to give the results. Now what is action research? It solves the immediate issue through the intervention. Okay, okay, so when we are talking about the action research, can anyone can give me the example of action research from the like from the right now, any incident took place in the world or anything? Anyone, those who want to give their views on this action research as example, I'm asking.
Sir, can we take demonetization which took place under this action research? Because after a lot of research of about minimum 3 to 4 years, after figuring out how we can actually stop this and what could be the consequences, how we can digitalize everything, I think demonetization took place.
Yes, ma'am, that's very correct one. Thank you so
Thank-
much, ma'am, for your response. Like, yes, ma'am said correct. To resolve any issue from the immediate effect. Okay, that is an action
Sir,
research.
sir,
Okay.
same with regard
And-
to the slow learners. Because whenever
Okay,
teachers
yes, sir.
teach, if at all they are not, even though they want to participate and they lag behind learning, teachers spend extra time, some amount of extra time with them in order to improvise them. So that can be one of the
Definitely, sir.
examples.
Yes, sir, that can be. Because as we discussed about the research, that when we are doing any observation, and on the basis of that, when we are taking any action, that also a part of research, because first we observe, then we find out the reason, then we find out the solution of that. So definitely it can be a part of action research, sir. Thank you so much for your response, sir. So whenever you want to solve any immediate issue through any intervention or any kind of uh, any kind of barrier you are using to stop that, okay, that comes under the action research. Okay, because in a applied research, you are during that time you are doing the practicals, but in action research you are just taking the immediate action on that particular to stop it. Like there was a issue in the Maharashtra, I think everyone was knowing. That was a very I think few months back it came, that some of the part of Maharashtra, when people are facing the issue of hair loss, suddenly they started hair fall and all. Then government researched on it, and they found out that there was some chemical in the water and all. So they immediately took action on that, stopping the supply of that particular water, which was impacted by the, some of the fertilizers or chemical by the industries and all. Okay, so that all comes under the action research whenever you are taking the action to stop anything with the immediate effect. Then there is a evaluation research, assess the effectiveness of the program. So I think many of you are knowing about this evaluation research, because whenever we used to run any program, for example, if you are a teacher and if you are, evaluating students, regular improvement, and when you found out that, some of them are slow learner, or like Pratap sir said, on the basis of that, you evaluate, and after that, you understand that whatever you are teaching, that is how much effective or not. Okay, so on the basis of evaluation, you take the next step. That comes under the evaluation research. Okay, you're not just taking action that time. That's why I'm saying action research is different and evaluation research is different. Okay, on the basis of result, you are doing the evaluation of the research, and during the action research, you just find out the problem and just you give the solution. That is action research. Okay, so don't get confused between all this. In the another session, like tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss about all this thing in a deep manner. Okay, now what are the methods? First one is qualitative, that is subjective and exploratory. Like I have already discussed about the subjective. Like whenever you are talking about the qualitative method, it all research about the human behavior. Okay, because whenever we are doing research on the social sciences, most of the research scholar used to choose this qualitative approach. Okay, because if you are going to say that human behavior can be measured by the quantitative data, that is not possible. How many of you can say, I'm just asking, if I will say that if you want to measure the human behavior with quantitative data, how many of you say yes or no? You can just give your comment in the chat box. I just want to understand that how many of you are understanding about the qualitative and quantitative, which I have discussed in the starting of this session only. Please, you can just tell me about that. I'm just checking the message. If you have any, okay. You can just unmute and tell me about yes or no. Or if you not understood the question, then also I'm going to repeat it. Because in the UGC NET Paper 1 question, they used to ask this kind of question only, where they are testing your ability to understand the thing. Okay. They can ask the difference between the qualitative and quantitative. That time you have to understand that human behavior can be measured by quantitative data or not. So that's why I'm asking. Please, you can just unmute yourself and you can say yes or no. On the basis of that, I'm going to continue that particular thing. Or otherwise, I'm just going to end this methods and all. Please, you can, if you want to give any answer. Can you measure human behavior with the help of quantitative data, numbers, numericals?
No, sir.
Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Pratap sir said no. Anyone else want to just give their views on this? If anyone wants to say anything, please, they can just unmute.
Actually, sir, many of them are telling through messages.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I was in this slide. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Swarupa Rani ma'am said qualitative only. Okay. Tarika ma'am said we can analyze the human behavior with qualitative method. Okay, ma'am. Prakash sir said research in literature is qualitative. Daru, no. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for your responses. Yes, you are 100% correct that yes, we cannot measure, human behavior with the quantitative data. because there is a issue with the human behavior. Like if 1 minute ago I was happy, maybe after 1 minute I can be sad. Okay, so no one can measure your behavior on the basis of numbers. Qualitative approach is one of the best approach to measure the human behavior. So everyone's answer was correct. Thank you so much for your responses. Okay, so like qualitative approach is subjective, which I have already discussed, that whenever there is an opinion during the research, when you are going to include opinion, you use or a kind of human data, not in a form of numbers, in a form of text when you are going to include in it. That is a qualitative approach. Then there is a quantitative, where the objective things are there, numerical data are there. Okay, here are the some of example like ethnography, surveys. Whenever you are performing the qualitative and the quantitative research, they are the different methods. Okay, like whenever you are doing the qualitative research, you can use the ethnography. Okay, you can use the focus group discussion. You can use the case studies. Okay, even sometimes you can do the content analysis also. Okay, in the case of quantitative, you can do the survey. Uh, you can collect the data from the secondary sources. Okay, means whenever you are having a data, facts and figures or numbers, you are doing your research by using the quantitative approach. Okay, now there is another thing, mixed method. Now why there is a need of this mixed method came in the research work? Because in the western part of the world, most of the people, they are believing that qualitative research, which is including the subjective subjective data and all, it sometimes it is biased. Okay, not every time I'm saying, but yes, there is a allegation on qualitative research that it is biased. It is just the copy and paste from the another sources. Okay, because in the western part, most of the people, they used to prefer quantitative analysis, quantitative approach in their research only. So due to that, there is a need of this mixed method came in the academics. Okay, even in the research work, then people used to start doing both. Like they used to have some qualitative data, they used to have some quantitative data, and on the basis of that, they used to give the result of their research. So that's why this mixed method also is very important. So what kind of question can be asked from this? What is like, it is they are not asking just simple question like what is mixed method, but yes, they can give a particular situation, and on the basis of that they can ask which method is used by a particular research. Okay, to check your ability. Okay, okay, someone is asking any question, please you can just unmute. Okay, I think by mistake it was okay. No, I'm just
Can I ask one question, sir?
definitely, sir, definitely.
So it's a simple question. It says methods, and we have qualitative. Under qualitative, we have ethnography. Now, is ethnography is a method or it's a type of research?
It's a tool, sir. It's a tool. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Because whenever you are performing any research, type of research, because research are also on the basis of geographical locations, on the basis of your approaches, they're different. Like there can be exploratory research, descriptive research. Okay, there can be a qualitative research, quantitative research. In detail, tomorrow we are definitely going to discuss about it. But right now, ethnography is a kind of tool through which you can collect the data, and after that you can analyze the data.
Okay. Likewise, surveys is also a tool for the quantitative
Yes, sir.
method.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
So ethnography is very specific in anthropology. That is used for taking data from
Sorry, sir.
research and
Actually, your voice is.
communities.
I'm not able. So please just you can repeat your
Ethnography
question.
is
Yes, sir.
ethnography is very specific. Hello,
Yes, sir. Ethnography is very specific. Okay.
it is related to anthropological analysis.
Yes, sir.
Anthropological analysis,
Yes, sir.
and where it
So
can act as a tool for analysis of the particular race, or what can be said is aspects of that race.
Sir, you are just adding some points in that particular thing, or you are asking any question?
No, I want to add. I mean, I want to take it a little further. Ethnography as such.
Okay, means you are just adding okay points in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Yes, yes, definitely, sir. Because yes, anthropology is how the human evaluate, means how the evolution of human came in the society. I think anthropology is discussing about all this thing. So yes, definitely ethnography is a part of that. Thank you so much, sir. Now I'm going to share the another slide. Before that, okay, I'm just before sharing that another, I'm just sharing you the our reference book, KVS Madan, who had some more points in the as a characteristic of research. I'm sharing that. Okay, I've shared that part. What can be the desirable characteristics of research, which we have already discussed till yet, but I'm just adding some more points. So during that also, if you have any question, you can just ask. Okay, like we have talked till yet till here. Now, what are the desirable characteristics? First, we need the objectivity. In the starting of session only, we talked about objectivity, that we need a data, facts, figure, and all. Okay, under that, what can be the things which we can understand? First one is procedural safeguards. The process involves the procedural safeguard are as follows: keeping complete records of the observation and data analysis in a form that other researchers can understand and evaluate. Now, objectivity was a one term. Under that umbrella term, they are the sum of the another term. Okay, first one was the okay, someone was saying anything, please you can just unmute. Okay, so there was a another under this umbrella term objectivity, there are the some things like procedural safeguard. What is procedural safeguard?
Sir, I think you have muted yours audio
Okay.
from you.
Sorry, sir. Due to the network issue, it was just automatically disconnected. So sorry for the inconvenience caused. So I was sharing the slide. Again, I am sharing. Okay. So we were talking about the like this part, that what is procedural safeguard. I think my voice is clearly audible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your response. So I was talking about the procedural safeguard, and I was talking that if anyone, a particular editor of the particular journal was in the another part of the world, and if they want to analyze your data, and if they found out using the softwares like Turnitin and different softwares, which can detect AI data also, then they will find out that your data is fake. Your data is, just fabricated. Okay. So to save yourself from the particular situation, what we used to do is we used to have a particular data, whatever we are sharing with them, that should be original. Okay. Because objectivity do not mean that you are sharing the fabricated data, you are sharing the data which is generated by you. Okay. So you can share the complete records of observation. If anyone will ask that your data is fake, if anyone will say your data is not correct, you can just share your records with them, okay, of the observation. So this procedural safeguard can help you to uh, make your things more better, more reliable, more you can validate your things with the help of this procedural safeguard. Okay. Like most scientific reports are written in a similar form published by the Organization of Scientists. These reports communicate ideas to the entire scientific community and open those ideas to the criticism. Because, whatever you are doing right now, maybe that can be have some loopholes. So people can criticize about that. But for that, you have to present correct and not fabricated data. Okay. Like many of you face this issue, like whenever you are sharing your research paper to the Scoopers journals, many times they used to paper saying that your data is fake or your data is not correct, your content and list is not correct. Okay. By using this, procedural safeguard of, keeping your complete records, observation and all, you can just yes, ma'am. Ma'am, would you want to would you like to ask any question? Aditi, ma'am.
She's on a family conversation. Yes.
Okay, sir. I'm just muting. Okay. So that is a procedural safeguard. Now, what can be the another thing? Standardization. Okay. It means using uniform, consistent procedure in all phases of data collection. That is also important. For example, if UGC NET will ask what is, procedural safeguard, I think everyone is knowing about it. But if they will ask that what in objectivity, what can be the steps, took by a researcher to validate their things, these are the steps. Procedural safeguard was the first, then standardization, then operationalization of the concept, then avoiding biasness and all. These are the steps. Okay. And one more thing I want to share, that sometimes UGC NET asks some of the different questions which is out of context. In that case, your theoretical knowledge is only going to come, it is going to help you a lot during that situation. Okay. So please, during the session, if you have any doubt, then ask. And whenever I'm sharing this, whenever I'm discussing or sharing these points, please note it down. Okay. It means using the uniform, consistent processing in all phases of data collection, that is standardization, which we have already discussed. Like whenever you are choosing any step, you should have a particular, observation with notes. Okay. that will make your data more validated. Okay. Because most of the scientists, those who are using the standard procedure, they used to collect data, they used to note down their each and every record. Okay, so that helps them to validate their data. Okay,
I
how
have
you
a
are?
doubt.
Yes,
Sorry to
ma'am.
interrupt.
No, no, ma'am.
I
Please, you can
just
ask.
lost the link. I just want to ask, what is this white head and red head we are talking about? What is the header for the same?
Okay, ma'am. No, ma'am. We are not talking about this part right now.
Okay.
We are talking about the desirable characteristics of research, ma'am,
On
Okay.
the
and
right,
I
right
am
side of the
talking
question.
about the point B of standardization. Okay. Actually, that is a part of research objectives. See, this there is a uh, like this. It is a part of this. Okay. So, operationalization of the concept. It is basically standardizing the meaning of concept. An operational definition of a concept defines the concept in a term of how it is measured or what operation produced. Like whenever people are going to analyze your data, they will analyze your procedure, they will analyze your concept, that by using which theory, by using which principle, okay, by using which concept you are proving your data. Because most of the time when you are going to do research or you are doing PhD, you are giving the theoretical background in your thesis. I think most of you are knowing about the theoretical background, that on the basis of this concept, on the basis of this principle, I am doing the research on this particular subject. Okay, like in media, I don't know how many of you are from the mass communication. Like there is a theory of diffusion of innovation. Okay, for example, I am saying there is a theory of diffusion of innovation, that how any innovation diffused by step in the society. Okay, starts with the lower amount of people, and then at the end it will reach to the higher amount of people. Okay, so if I want to uh, do research on any particular product or something, anything like marketing and all, like if you are from the like MBA background and all, you will just understand that during while you are doing the marketing of any product, first you have to do the research of that particular product need in the society. Then after that you will decide that you are going to launch this product or not. Okay, so similarly like that, if you want to prove anything, if you want to prove the necessity of need of that product, you have to add some particular concept behind it, that why this thing is needed. Okay, so this comes under the operational of concepts, where you are adding the some principle theories to measure the research work. Okay, now avoiding the biasness, like bias from the external influence, personal beliefs, observes, perspective, and human expectation can distort all data. That is one of the biggest issue in the field of academics. Okay, because whenever you are doing research, these all things can work as a barrier in your research. First thing can be your personal belief. Definitely, if you are thinking that I'm doing research on a particular topic, and if your personal belief says that I have to do this research on my way only, what I am thinking, that result only I'm going to give, that is a barrier. Okay, so that give birth to the biasness. Another thing is the external influence, like you are doing research, and from due to the some external influence, you are changing your data. That is a reason behind the biasness. Like human expectations. Okay, like whenever we are doing research and whenever the results are not according to our thinking, our beliefs, our ideology, we change the data. So these all things gave birth to the biasness. Okay, so that is the first point a desirable characteristics of research under objectivity, all these points comes. Now, another thing is reliability. Reliability in the context of research, consistency, it refers to the extent to which an investigation produce consistent result. It can also be termed as verifiability. Okay, like what is reliability means? What whenever you are doing research, the results will come similarly to the result took place previously. For example, if if you are going to mix the H2O, hydrogen plus oxygen, maybe if you are in India, then also that will give you water. But if you are in the Western country also, and if you are adding hydrogen plus oxygen, that is going to give you water. So that is reliability. Okay, means whenever you are going anything, okay, whenever you are going to perform that research again, that will be consistent. There will be no changes. But in the case of human behavior, this reliability, there can be issue with that. But for measuring that also, we have different scales. Okay, like Likert scale and different scales we are using in the social sciences to measure the consistency. Okay, but in the case of quantitative data, that consistency of data is similar. Okay. Now, if any research yields similar result each time, that is undertaking with the similar population in the given context with a similar procedure, it is said to be reliable research. Okay, which that example only I have discussed with you all. Let us take an example. Okay, assume that research is conducted on effect of watching television. So maybe on the class performance children, if the result concluding that watching TV caused low grades in a class, if another sample taken from the another population shows same result with the same research procedure, then we can say this research is reliable. Yes, for example, like which I was telling you, like most of the people, those who are doing the exit poll during the elections and all, okay, if they get the data from the different geographical locations similarly, they used to give exit poll on the basis of that. They used to give the votes to the particular party, seats to the particular party on the basis of that only. So they used to have that research reliable for them. Okay, that's why most of the time exit polls, they are correct. Okay, because whenever they are choosing the sample size from the different geographical location, most of the time they get the similar data. Not every time I'm saying, most of the time I'm saying. Okay, so that decides your reliability. If your data which is tested in the different parts, and if it is similar, then it is reliable research or reliability. Okay, under that there are some of the points which I think there is no need of discussing all that, because reliability is very simple term. Okay, now I'm going to share the another slide with you all. Please just give me a second. Then we'll move to the another part of the KVS model. If anyone is having any doubt on this particular topics which we have discussed till yet, you can just unmute yourself. Okay. During the session also you can ask. See, like we have already discussed about the objectivity and all things. Like these are the basic characteristics which can be very important. Like systematic we have already discussed, logical we have already discussed, empirical we have already discussed, replicable, that is like we have already discussed right now in the reliability, that whenever we are repeating the work, if the results are same, then it is very reliable. Okay, the research is very reliable. Now here are the some things like ethical, okay, which I have discussed about the plagiarism and all that, how we used to follow the research ethics during the research. It talks about all that thing, how we can use the original data. We have to not we do not have to fabricate data in our research and all. This talks about the ethics in the research. Objective we already discussed. Critical, analyzing the all factors, like if you are sharing your research work in the different part of the world, definitely they are going to analyze the of that. They are going to, maybe if the data is not correct, if the things are not correct, they are going to criticize that. Because if anyone is criticizing your work, definitely it is going to help you a lot in improving their work. Okay. Now, another topic of our today's session is positivism. Okay. Before
मैंने
that,
ली हूँ, मम्मी लेके दी है। कितने काले दिख रहे हो।
okay. Now, I'm sharing the before starting the positivism, I'm sharing the KVS model, because some of the points still are very important as a objective purpose. Like NTA can ask anything, okay, so I don't want to leave any part which can be very important. Okay. Like I was talking about the okay. Okay, I think there are some of the parts which are important we have already discussed from the KVS Madan also. So now I can start with the positivism. What is positivism? Like, positivism is a research philosophy which is developed by the Auguste Comte. He believes that like research can be observable and it can be measured by facts, and it emphasizes on the scientific methods, objectivity, and quantitative in nature. Now, what is new in positivism? Like, we have already talked about the quantitative data, we have already talked about the qualitative data. Then why this concept of positivism came in the research work? Now I'm going to share that book. We'll start with that. Okay. Now it is visible to everyone. I'm talking about this part. Okay, positivism and post-positivism of the paradigms of the research. Okay. Paradigm is comprehensive belief system, worldview of framework and guide research and practice. It helps in making the number assumptions about fundamental issues related to the nature and characteristics of truth or reality. Okay, ontology, and a theory of knowledge dealing with the how we can know the things that exist, that is epistemology. Paradigms guide research and practice used in the field. Paradigms are the general methodologies, prescription, including tools for data collection and data analysis to conduct the work within the paradigm. These all points which we have already discussed in our slide. Okay, that it helped us making number of assumptions about fundamental issues, because it is like for example, I am saying whenever you differentiate between the positivism and post-positivism, they used to focus on the qualitative versus quantitative. Okay, like post positivism is a combination of the subjective plus objective data. Okay, it is not just using the single approach that is quantitative in nature, but the positivism, which is given by the Auguste Comte, he's saying our data should be quantitative in nature. Okay, so these all points which I have read right now, that all are the combination. Now I am going to share the diagram. See, this was the diagram where how this all get, this is a Venn diagram where each and everything is combination. Okay, like what is epistemology? That is a theoretical framework, literature, and research practice. Okay, ontology is assumption about the nature of reality and knowledge, and axiology is a value system and ethical principles. Now, this diagram only what it is telling you that we have discussed in the starting of our here. We have discussed here. See, everything which we have discussed till here. Okay, I'm highlighting the points. Don't get confused. So that all are the mixture. Okay, like positivism is not a different kind of concept, and post-positivism is a just updation in that. Okay, like I was telling you about the mixed method, like people when they thought that there is a biasness in qualitative data, they feel that. Okay, so they introduce the mixed method. Similarly, like that, when the follower of the positivism or the people, those who are against the positivism, they used to introduce the post-positivism. Okay, like these are the, see, paradigms are generally methodological prescription, including tools for data collection, data analysis. Paradigms are of three types: realism, constructivism, pragmatism. What is realism? So these all three paradigms asked in a UGC NET paper, I think in 2020-22. That's why it is very important to understand about all these three paradigms of the positivism and post-positivism. Okay. What is realism? To get information from external world or sources. Okay. If you are, collecting the data or information from the external world and sources, that comes under the realism. And what is constructivism? That is, everyone has a unique experience. There is nothing important outside from this type of experience. For example, if you have observed anything, okay, and on the basis of your experience, if you are going to have that data, that comes under the constructivism. Okay, realism is all about the information data collected from the external sources. Here, nothing important outside from this type of experience. It is saying what is the difference between realism and constructivism? That in realism you are collecting data from the external sources. In constructivism you are just using your own experience. You're not giving value to the external sources. Okay, now what is pragmatism? That is a combination of realism and constructivism are termed as the two alternative ways to under this word. See, so these three terms are very important. Now, here are some of the branches of these all paradigms. Like, okay, I'm sharing. No, sorry, these are the subjects. Okay, like metaphysics is a branch of philosophy that deals with the, see, these all subjects also, in brief, we have to understand about all that subject, because sometimes they ask, okay, that if we are studying that it comes under which subject? In research aptitude, in I think, yes, they asked. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Not, yes.
Sorry
Yes,
to
ma'am.
interrupt you. Could you share a previous slide to me?
Sorry, ma'am.
Positivism. Could you share previous slide, sir? Positivism.
Previous slide. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you are talking about this KVS Madan book or slide which is prepared by us?
Slide, sir. Slide, sir.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I'm sharing that. Ma'am, I think you can also download it from the link available in the chat box. So don't worry about that. Okay. I'm sharing right now. If you have any questions related to that slide, you can ask.
Okay, sir.
Yes. So this was the slide. Ma'am, you have any questions related to this positivism?
No, sir, I'm just noting the points, sir.
Okay, definitely. Okay, so these all are the things which I have discussed. Ma'am, please, you can take the screenshot. Then I can share that book again.
Sir, yes, sir, take it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So I was talking about the different subjects right now. That yes. First, I'm going to talk about the metaphysics. This is a branch of philosophy that deals with the abstract concepts such as being, knowing, identity, time, space. Okay, so yes, you have to note it down the basic characteristics of this metaphysics that will help you. Even when you're going to revise before the exam, it will help you. Okay, so metaphysics is all about. This is a branch of philosophy which talks about the identity, time, space, what you know, and all. Okay. Then another is ontology that refers to the branch of metaphysics dealing with the nature of being and reality. Okay. In short, ontology refers to our ideas of reality and how it is constituted. Okay. You can just note down these points what is a basic difference, because it is like metaphysics is a part of philosophy, ontology is a part of metaphysics, branch of metaphysics. Okay. Then there is another thing which is epistemology. It is a study of knowledge. It deals with the origin, nature, scope, method to acquire the knowledge. Okay, the term was first, see, this was very important. You can note it down that epistemology was the term first used by Frederick Ferrer. Okay. This is very important. NTA can ask this. Who gave this term first? Epistemology. Okay, so Frederick Ferrer gave this term. There are the basically two ways to acquire the knowledge. Okay. I think it is very clear with this all sentence that what is epistemology. Okay, because it deals with the what is origin, nature, and scope, methods to acquire knowledge. Okay, how you used to acquire the things in a form of knowledge. That is all about epistemology. Okay, so you can acquire knowledge by two way. First one is rationalism. Okay, where you are talking about the logic and reason. Okay, there is another thing which is empiricism. That is, it claims that the sensing experience is the ultimate starting point of all our knowledge. See, in rationalism and empiricism, there is a two big difference. First one is logic and reasoning is there in rationalism, and in empiricism that it talks about what we experience. That is a starting point of our knowledge. See, again there is a case of objectivity and subjectivity in this, but just keep this term in your mind. So whenever it will ask in the exam or any question related to this two terms will be asked in exam, then definitely it is going to help you a lot. Okay. Now another is axiology, that is a branch of philosophy that studies judgment about the values. Specifically, axiology is engaged with the assessment of the role of research on value system on all stages of research process. And axiology primarily refers to the aim of the research. It checks whether actions are blameworthy or praiseworthy. Okay. See, this is very important because we are just talking about the different branches of philosophy. Under that also, like in the previous one, ontology was the branch of metaphysics. Maybe sometimes it can confuse you, but what you have to do, just during the session only, you can just note down that points of this, important points of this all terms. Okay, so it will help you to differentiate between the each and every one. Okay. So this branch of philosophy, which I have already discussed, it talks about the judgment about the values. Okay, so this is the first point. It engage with the assessment of the role of researchers' own value system. Okay, because like if researcher follow the particular value system during the whole process, then research will be definitely very good, and there will be less chance of biasness in it. Okay, so that's why that can be asked in the exam, that if you want to measure, if you want to understand about the value system of the researchers during the research process, which subject you are going to prefer, which branch of philosophy you are going to study, that is axiology. Okay, so that is very important. Now, okay, here are the theory. I think theory is knowing what is theory. Everyone is knowing about it. Like it is a set of systematic related statement, including some law-like generalization that can be tested empirically. Okay, this generalization provides hypothesis, and these hypotheses determines what must be measured. Okay, so how you are getting the theory. Whenever you are following the anyone knowing about the the step of getting theory, means anyone who is knowing about this, I'm asking, they can just tell me about what are the two methods from which we are going to get the theories. Please, anyone can me tell about that? What are the two methods through you can make new theory? Anyone can tell me? Then I will explain all these things. Thank you so much, ma'am. That is 100% correct answer. Yes, inductive and deductive. Okay, so whenever we are making any theory, that can be in the inductive manner or that can be in deductive manner. What is inductive manner? When you start from the observation and at the end you will reach to the formation of theory, that is inductive. And when you will start with the theory and you will end with the another new theory, that is deductive. Simply I am explaining. Okay, even you can also add, if someone wants to add in your this context, that what is inductive and deductive, you can add it. Okay, you can just unmute, you can add. But simply if I will say, inductive is all about starting with the observation, ending with the formation of theory. There is some steps between them. Okay, and deductive is starting from the already theory which is existing, and it will end to the formation of new theory. Okay, so these are the two methods of preparing any theory, formation of any theory. So theory is a set of systematic related statement, including some laws like generalization, that can be tested empirically. Yes, that can be tested. For example, if I want to test if you want to test the effect of COVID vaccine in India, okay, then what you will do, you will go through all the data, you will go through all the case studies of that. Okay, and you will go to the all that particular theories prepared after analyzing that data. Okay, now similar things if we are going to do in the another part of the work. Okay, and by generalizing all that thing, if you are testing all that thing, and if the result will be same, definitely that theory is going to help you perform that particular practical, that particular work in the another part of the world also. Okay, for example, in the if you are doing the inductive theory preparation, like you started with the observation that these are the symptoms of COVID, then you do the research on that, then after that you found out that particular things are the responsible for that, and after that you prepared a theory. Started with observation, at the end you prepared theory. If you will share that theory in the another part of the world, and they will, when they will execute that theory in their research work, definitely it is going to work on that. Okay, so it is saying that only, that it is a set of systematic related statements which you prepared during the observation. Okay, including some laws like generalization that can be tested empirically. Okay, that can be tested by the Okay, someone is saying, sorry, I'm checking your chats. Okay, so Ruparani ma'am is saying inductives to make generalization through the assumption, example deductives based on the principle. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay. So that was only the thing I was discussing, ma'am, that when you start with the observation, definitely it is a, as options you are taking that yes, this can be the thing, and deductive is starting with the principle, means the theory which we already have. Okay, so thank you so much, ma'am, for adding some points in our session. Okay, so I think that is already clear to everyone. Okay, so that this generalization provide hypothesis, and this hypothesis determines what must be measured. And in a simple manner, ma'am already discussed in the chat box. Okay, so I think theory is clear to everyone. Now, what will be the another part, that is research paradigms are like, research paradigms are the model of the function and interrelationship of a process, a way of thinking about something and how to study it. There is a difference between natural science and social science. Okay, like previously I talked, our academic is divided into two parts. Okay, where people used to do research with the quantitative analysis or quantitative approach they are using. Another part is using the qualitative. So natural science, where the things related to the nature. Okay, like for example, if I was talking about the H2O. Okay, H2O cannot be changed. Okay, that will be, the formula will be similar in the every part of the world. That cannot be changed, or that cannot be influenced, that cannot be fabricated. Okay, in the case of social science, that is all about the study of human behavior. Okay, so that can be affected by the external influence, that can be affected by the some of the internal influence and all. Okay, so research paradigms can be divided into two parts, natural science and social science. So it's the difference between research approaches related to them. Hence, there are two competing paradigms to acquire knowledge. The paradigms are grouped as a positivist paradigm and the interpretative paradigm. Okay. See, now this positivism approach came, which we have discussed till yet. The term positivism was, this is very important point, you can just note it down. The term positivism was coined by the French philosopher Auguste Comte in 19th century. Okay, and reflected through by Francis Bacon, John Locke, Isaac Newton, and etc. Okay. I'm sharing that only. Okay. Comte divide theological stage into three parts: animism, polytheism, and monotheism. So what is animism, polytheism, and monotheism? We are going to discuss about that. Okay. Positivism believes that sociology should use same methods and approaches to study social world that natural science. Okay. See, when I was talking about the quantitative approach, because positivism talk about the quantitative approach, and it is used by the people, those who are doing research in the natural sciences. Okay. So that only he is saying that approaches to study the social world that natural sciences such as biology, physics, to investigate the physical world by adopting scientific techniques. Sociologists should be able to eventually to uncover the laws, social action that govern societies, just as a scientist have discovered the law that governs the physical world. So it just means that you are using this in the natural sciences. He gave the example like physics, biology, and all. Okay, where the things can be performed by doing the practicals. Positivism, you can also note it down this point, that where you are performing the practicals, where you are using the principles or theory which are already practical is done by the particular scientist and all. Okay, for example, if you're talking about the 3 laws of Newton, he already gave that principles. On the basis of that, if you are performing any practical, definitely it is going to give that similar result only, which laws or principles are given by the Isaac Newton. Okay, so science. Thus, the focus in the social action. Max Weber's social action theory argues that individual human beings engage in a unique series of action informed by cause and effect in the social context. Okay, like everyone is criticizing the particular thought of the like if you are talking about the pros of the quantitative research, then definitely someone is going to criticize that also. So one of them was the Max Weber. Okay, he talked about that. He argues that individual human beings engage in a unique series of action. Like I was talking about in the starting of session, that you can measure human behavior with the quantitative data. That is not possible, because everyone is having a different human behavior. Human behavior will be changed after some time. Okay, so how you can measure with the numbers? Okay, so the method being adopted in the natural sciences should be adopted in the social sciences also. According to the Bacon proposed, the philosophers should not attempt to wander beyond the limits of nature. Saint-Simon applied the term positive in the essay on the science of man. See, this is very important. You can just note this down. That essay on the science of men. Okay, it is given by the Bacon. Okay, like many times NTA asks that this book is given, who is the author of this book? Okay, this particular quote is said by particular person. So this is very important. You can just note it down or you can underline. Okay, if you have the KBS Madan book, you can just underline it. That is very important part. Okay. Now we will just go to the drawbacks, because we have discussed a lot on positivism. So we will also discuss about the drawbacks. Okay. Positivism is an epistemology is associated with the following set of disadvantages. Positivism relies on the experience as a valid source of knowledge. Okay. Like it believes in the unity of method. Sociology is not different from the natural science as far as the method of inquiry is concerned. See, this believes that it is not different from the natural science, but it is different. Okay, like we are already discussing a lot on this quantitative versus qualitative. Okay, so first drawback is positivism relies on the experience as a valid source of knowledge. Okay, because if you do not have a quantitative data, sometimes people do not take it as a valid source of knowledge, because people used to have the most of the people use facts and figure to prove their data in the quantitative analysis or quantitative approach. So if you are just giving the the opinions, you're just giving the observation, you are just giving the figures without any particular data, there can be issue with this positivism, because they are only believing in a valid source of knowledge. The principle of objectivity may be compromised to the some extent as there can be variation of action of individual and relationships between the individual. See, this was only I was telling, because it is totally talking about the objectivity. It is not talking about the changes in the human behavior. So this is one of the drawback. Okay. Adoption of positivism in business studies and other studies can be criticized for the reliance on the status quo. Okay. Okay. I'm not familiar with this term. So I will just find out what is status quo. If anyone is familiar with this term, they can just tell me. Because right now I'm not familiar with this term, because this is also new for me. Okay.
Current
Thank you so
situation
much,
or
ma'am.
as is, sir?
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. So, ma'am said that it is current situation. So adoption of positivism in a, like, yes, business studies and other studies can be criticized for reliance on the current situation. Okay. So this is also similar to the previous thing which I discussed. Okay, because if current situation, if a human behavior in a present situation is, if a person is happy, in the another situation, in the next few seconds he is sad, so that data is not validated by the that particular research, because there is a change in the human behavior. It is not similar like the natural science process. Means if the test done by a particular researcher in the few years ago was the same, and the another research done by that researcher in the another hour will be also same, but in that the case of human behavior, it will change. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for clearing my doubt regarding this new term. The principle of metaphysics may also be compromised to some extent. Yes, like what metaphysics was saying. Okay, they that is a part of philosophy. Okay, like here we discussed about the metaphysics. See, okay, that is a part of philosophy. It is talking about the that how you are knowing what you are knowing, what is identity, what is time and space. Means it is talking about the situation. Simply it is talking about the situation. What is the time, what is the space? Okay, and that particular data depend on that situation. Okay, for example, if you are collecting data in the the geographical location where network is not available, maybe there can be some error in the data. You are noting down, if you are noting your data, by facing some noises around your surrounding, and if you're not able to concentrate on your data, then there can be some error. So everything, whatever you are doing, that depends on the situation. That can be a different geographical location, time, space, and all. Okay, so positivism is not following that also. It is just going against the metaphysics also. Okay, so these are the drawbacks. Okay, now we will just talk about the post positivism. Then I will share some questions. Even we are going to solve some question related to this. I'm sharing the another PPT. So this is another thing which we are going to discuss about, that is post positivism. It is just opposite of the positivism, or you can just say that it is some of the things added in the previous version of positivism. Okay, like what is the situation after the positivism, that is a post positivism acknowledges. Okay, it believes that reality is complex and not fully observable. Yes, definitely. Because, as we are talking about the human behavior, in reality, if you think that, you can just note down the data of the particular human, after a few seconds that will change. So that is not that much simple what you are thinking about. It is very complex. If anyone is saying that qualitative research is very easy, then that is not that much easy what they are thinking of, because there are the sudden changes. Okay, So that is only this post-positivism tells about, that it is a very complex and not fully observable. You cannot just observe the thing. Okay. After that, it says that it accepts the values and context influence research. Okay. So it is also talking about the values and context that influence the research. For example, I was talking about the, the branch of philosophy that was metaphysics, that I was talking about, that every situation, every time, place, or the situation in your around your surrounding, that is going to influence the research. In positivism, they are not saying about all this thing. They are not talking about all this thing. Okay. So everything which, which can be present inside or outside. For example, values can be work as an external influence from the outside also. People can, a kind of peer pressure you can face during the research, but your inside values also can impact in your research. Okay. But that positivism not talks about that. Okay. That all influential substance. Okay. But this post positivism accept that yes, values and context can also influence the research. It also supports the mixed method. So that is one of the best thing, because it is not denying the quantitative things, but it is not, just taking the quantitative things. Don't forget this. Okay. Just listen carefully. It is not denying the quantitative method, but it is not just taking the quantitative method. It is using the mixture of qualitative and quantitative. Okay. So in this, assumptions, observations, and theories, okay, based on evidence, this post positivism supports each and everything. They are not denying these options. They are saying yes, that can be the thing which you are thinking about, but they're also giving you chance to check that all things with the help of data, with the help of practical observation, with the help of practical, done by the scientists and all, whatever they are doing, they use to support each and every quantitative method as well as qualitative method. Okay. So this is a post positivism. Now, what can be the important part of this? Okay. I think we are. Okay. We are just going to discuss these few points in this. Then we will move to the questions of this particular part. I'm sharing the book, because as a reference book it is very important, because in our slides we can just give the basic points, but if we will go through the some of the important details, then this book is very important. If anyone is not having this book, then please you can buy this. That is going to help you a lot. Okay. Even you can download it from the internet also. I think maybe the e-version of this book is available. Okay. I think that is clearly visible to everyone. What is post-positivistic approach? That is post-positivism. The overall society include natural sciences, not static as assumed in the positivism paradigm, which we have already discussed. They are tradition of conflict. The human beings are rational according to the Durkheim. This is very important point, because that can be a part of your question, that the human beings are rational. By whom this is said? Said by whom? Okay. So according to Durkheim, you can just underline this thing. Society is a complex system, consists of interrelated and interdependent parts. They are the interaction at the micro relation levels. Thus, all above complication demands that there is a requirement of different approaches that was called as a post-positivism, paradigm. So it is not just, whatever we discussed in the slide, this is not denying, post-positivism is not denying the positivistic approach. They are just adding the another part which is denied by the positivistic approach. That is the qualitative analysis, or that is the qualitative research approach. Okay. Thus, the focus of research has shifted from reality to critical reality. This approach is more relevant to the deal with the problem of a more complicated world, and thus it is more innovative, also deals with the more dynamic situations. Research is a broader, okay, this line is very thing. These lines are already repeating just the things which we have discussed till yet. Okay, I'm just sharing the important points. Okay. Okay, this is another part, interactive paradigm. Okay, this we are going to discuss. Then we are going to end this with the solution of some of the research questions. The following terms are more closely linked with the post-positive approach, that is interpretative paradigm. It is usually associated with the qualitative research strategies. It is specifically applicable in social sciences such as sociology, political sciences, like these all are the social sciences branches. According to the interpretative approach, research design should be flexible and unstructured. The method should be valid, and research design should be generate small scale intensive data using insider accounts and based on the description of what's seen and heard. Okay, because whenever you are doing the study of the sociology, political science, or any another subject of humanities and social sciences, definitely you have to do, you have to observe the thing, you have to analyze the thing, and that all things are related to the human behavior, because these all things are based on society, and society is a group of people. Okay, so that is very simple thing, very simple to understand, that what is interpretative paradigm means. You are just observing the things, what you have seen, what you have heard, and on the basis of that you are designing your research. Okay, and now another term is Western. That is, it is closely associated with the work of a German sociologist Max Weber. Like we already talked about the Max Weber in the positivistic approach, where he critically analyzed the positivistic approach of Auguste Comte. Okay, so he is a German sociologist in social science such as anthropology and sociology. Okay, someone wants to say anything? So, Western means a systematic interpretative process in which an outside observer of a culture attempts to relate to it and understand the others. This term is very important because, NET also asks the terms which people are not familiar with it. Okay, like if you will listen this word, most of the people are not familiar with it. So that is also a very important thing, that like whenever the person from the out of that culture is going to understand or observe that particular culture, and when it relates with their own culture. For example, a person from the Western countries come to India, and whatever they are observing in India, and if they are able to relate their cultural things with our culture, that comes under this particular term. Okay, so Western roughly translate to the meaningful understanding or putting yourself into the shoe of others to see things from their perspective. Okay, so means, for example, if anyone is in our culture, so they are seeing our culture in their own perspective, but they will also try to see with our perspective also. Okay, so this is Western. Okay, the method of natural science, physics, chemistry, and biology is explanation of Erkelren, where that of history is understanding worst hand. Okay. So see, there are the two terms you can just note it down because it is very important. Okay. That physics and chemistry, the method of natural sciences is Arclaren. Okay. And whereas that history is understanding is worst hand. Okay. Now this is also very important. A positivism is a deductive in nature. So in research, positivism wants to move to the inductive. Okay. Because as we know that whenever the people, those who are doing the research using the natural sciences, on the natural sciences, they are following the previous theories which is already given by the particular scientists or the scholars. Okay. But in research, positivism, we wants to move to inductive, means like we are discussing with the positivism and versus the post positivism, where we talked about the drawbacks of the positivism. So in research, there is a need that positivism should start with the observation, then it will move to the result of a particular thing. Okay, means inductive versus deductive and all. Okay. So similarly, for the post-positivism or realism, it is deduction. For critical realism, it is reproduction, and interpretatism is a adduction. Okay. So these 2 points are very important, like positivism and deductive in nature. These 2 points are very important. So you can note it down. Now I'm going to share slides and I have some questions here that we can just start solving. Till yet, if you have any doubt related to the the things which we have discussed today, you can just ask. Then I will share the research question which can solve by you also, even we can solve together. Okay. Because in research aptitude, most of the things you have to keep in mind, means you have to remember the things. Okay. And on the basis of that, you can just remember the things and you can just choose during the examination and all. If anyone who is having any doubt during the session, they can ask. Okay, you can also give your feedbacks in the chat box.
Sir, can you please share this PDF to us?
Ma'am, this is already shared by ma'am in your Google Drive. I think she also shared the link.
Okay,
in the chat box, you can check, ma'am.
Ma'am, this the PDFs that we have shared, sir has just cut the portion of research aptitude from that PDF.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Sir, can you please send the edited portion of this class? That means this screenshot.
Ma'am, this book you are talking about?
Yeah. Now you have shared some pages through the screen, right? Can you please post this in the group? That edited portions.
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay,
Actually, we don't share PPT, but you can take a look at all of this in the recorded session when it will be uploaded tomorrow morning. And this book, these pages of PDF are already shared with you. On the first day when I shared the PDF, if you go there, research aptitude section is already there. Liz, ma'am.
Ma'am? I think my voice is audible to everyone.
Yes, sir. But we cannot see the presentation.
Definitely I'm sharing, ma'am. Okay. So these are the basic questions from the, as a summary of our whole PPT. I'm saying, like research is all about. This was the question asked in many universities PhD exams. Many times it is asked in the UGC NTA NET exam. So this is very important question. Research is all about here are the different options. Working in a scientific way to search for truth. So answer is B. Okay. search again and again, finding solution to problem, none of the above. So here the answer of this question is working in a scientific way to search for truth. You can, I think this ma'am, this PDF, this PPT is already shared with the participants.
No, sir, but we will share the session recording so they'll be able
Okay,
to access
definitely.
it.
ठीक. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. So this is the answer of this question. Now there is another MCQ question. What is the first step in research? So like I have already discussed about the first step. Okay, that is the finding out your problem, finding out your objective or your aim. Okay, so answer B is a option as answer of this question. Okay, problem identification is very important before starting your research work. Okay, once you identify your problem, then you can start. Okay, then another question is, most of the answers are B, so you have to just remember the point only. Main purpose of research is improving reputation, discover new facts, solve practical issues, all of the above. So discovering new facts is answer, because whenever you are doing the research, you are just discovering new facts from the previous research. Okay, like whenever you are researching, searching again in the things which is already done by the previous research scholar, after researching on that, you are just adding the new facts, or you are just updating that knowledge with the help of research. So the answer is discovering new facts. Okay. Now another one is types of research. Action research is basic research, applied research, historical research, descriptive research. See, while I was talking about the action research and types of research, I said applied research is all about the when you are doing the practical solution of that. You are doing the practical and then you used to do the solution of that problem. That is applied. But during the action research also, like some of the participants said, like demonetization was the process. Before that, government practically worked on it, that what can be the things, what can be the consequences, what can be the effects. So that comes under the applied research. Okay, so answer is B. Then there is another thing, that is ethnography is an example of qualitative research. We have already discussed about the ethnography as a tool of qualitative research. Okay, now which uses manipulation of variables? Anyone can tell me about this? Now this is your times to give answer. Anyone? In the all four options.
B.
B. Okay. Ma'am, can you give the reason? Anyone can give the reason? Okay, B is the answer. But what is the reason behind this? Can anyone tell me?
Sir, only in experimental method we can change the variables. We can manipulate it, however, like independent and dependent variables.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. That only I want to know about it. So yes, that can be, because whenever you are using the variables, because they are maybe dependent or independent variables, dependent or independent variables. For example, if you are doing experiment on the weather situation related to the crops and all, so crops, the growth of crop is dependent on the weather situation, on the monsoon, on the summer, on the winter and all. So for example, if you want to experiment this on the human behavior, I'm just comparing between the quantitative versus the qualitative. Okay, and if you just want this experiment on the humans, there you can just manipulate the data. And how you can manipulate it, whatever result you want, on the basis of that you can just, whatever things you observed, whatever the things you get from the research, you can just fabricate that data, and after that there can be a manipulation. Okay, so mem was 100% correct, because it depends on the dependent and independent variables. Now there is another question, that is characteristics of research. Research should be, answer is C. Can anyone tell me about why answer is C? Can anyone? Anyone can tell me about this? Because we have already discussed a lot. I know that everyone is, time is also like 8:06 right now. From last 2 hours, we are already discussing. So I will not take
Sir,
more
it
time.
is like it should be in a systematic way, sir, and in logical way. It means there should be a proper method of doing the research.
Yes, sir. So it can be
Which should not
systematic
be,
also.
which should,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes.
which,
Yes, sir.
which should
Please, you
not
can.
be based on bias, sir.
Yes, sir. Definitely. That's why we
Yes.
talked about the ethics. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Now, here are some of the characteristics. Like empirical nature means based on theory, based on subjective experience, based on observable facts, based on assumptions. So we have already discussed about the empirical nature, empiricism. So it is based on the observable facts. Okay. Which is not a characteristics of research. So perspective, okay, means your own opinion, your own thinking, your own subjective thing in the research is not a characteristic of it, because it can make that biased. Okay. Positivism versus post-positivism. Founder of positivism was the Auguste Comte. Okay, I think everyone is knowing about him. Post-positivism believes in the reality is socially constructed, observation is infallible, research is value-free, research is subjective and complex. So I think the answer is D, which we have already discussed. And positivist paradigm emphasis on the subjectivity, scientific method, critical realism, constructivism. Okay, so I think answer is B, because it talks about the scientific methods and the objectivity and all. So these are the total question which we discussed today. If still you have any question, tomorrow we'll discuss in the another session. Right now, if you think that anything which you are not able to understood, you can just give me as a feedback. Tomorrow I will try to improve that also. Please, you can just tell me, then we can end this session. Or we can add some new things in it. That also you can tell me. Anyone wants to share their feedback, please you can tell me. Then we'll end this session.